Okay, everybody, welcome back. We're Tailgaters, and we are watching the NBA playoffs. Round one's finished. Round two is about to begin. Actually, round two kind of began already. We already had one, but we'll talk about that later. I'm going to start with the East, see what we thought. We've had some controversy. I'm going to leave the biggest controversy for the end. Maybe fireworks for that one. But first off, let me look over here. We had the Cavaliers and the Pacers. One thing I noticed about the East before going to one thing in the East, the C's, 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all in there. I mean, it's like in the East, they seeded that properly, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, Cavaliers and the Pacers are in there. That was something. Any thought about that? I mean, that was a little bit of a battle. They're in that first one there. I mean, the Cavaliers, they lost that first one. We'll talk about that later. But the first round.
A lot of biggest surprise for me personally was the Indiana Pacers. Like, to be able to beat, stop Giannis and that great team, and then they won game one in the second round against the Cavaliers, if I'm not mistaken. They won that game.
They did.
Yeah.
The Pacers are looking like a serious threat. That's a team that I had gone in the first round, but wow, like Tyrese is going crazy. They got a bunch of talent around him, and that's a team that could definitely sneak in. That team's looking real good.
I was surprised the Pacers beat the Cavaliers that first game too. They look very good. What y'all think about it? Anything else, Daryl, Marcus, about the Pacers Bucks?
I don't think it's a big deal. I think that the Cavaliers just swept whoever they played first round. You win 4 games in a row. I mean, come on, man, you're gonna lose at some point, right? But I don't think the Pacers are even a threat to them. No. I think the Pacers are good. I think they're great, but man, the Cavaliers, man, they are brilliant. Big deal. They lost the first game, but no, this series is not going to be close.
Yeah, okay. I got the Cavs winning this one in 6. I mean, when you think about the Cavaliers having Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, I mean, they're just set up in a good spot. Indiana has that fast-paced offense, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to like overcome the depth of Cleveland's and the playoff experience that they have. So yeah, I say the Cavs in 6.
Okay, then we had Knicks and the Pistons. That was Knicks went through that. I was happy with that just because of Jalen Brunson. I'm rooting for him. I don't know anything about really, but for some reason I like him. I guess he was a Mav.
Yep.
So that went pretty well the way we thought. Any comments about it?
I'm just looking forward to like the Boston, the Knicks going up against Boston. I mean, it's like the Knicks, they got to the semis. It's great, but they're about to get their butt whooped now. Celtics in 5, baby. JD, you about to say something?
Oh, 5.
Just Brunson, just playing like Brunson. I know he won the most clutch player of the year, and then he hit that 3-pointer to make it a 3-point game with 3 seconds left on the clock, and that's basically secured the playoff win. So I definitely understand why Brunson got that clutch player of the year, and man, he put on a show and he sealed it for them, and now they're moving on to round 2.
Okay, so you think Knicks or Celtics?
Oh, Knicks, 100%.
Nick, 100% over Celtics.
Oh, no. Celtics. Sorry.
Oh, Celtics. Okay. I probably asked the question poorly. I'm sorry.
I had the Celtics going to the finals. So.
Yeah. To a liquor cabinet or something.
Sorry, I just had like a brain moment, but yeah.
Oh, I probably asked it wrong.
Celtics.
All right, Celtics. That's what I think. Celtics also. Sorry, Brunson. Celtics. All right, then what do you think, Daryl? Celtics or Knicks?
Oh, Celtics.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got the West. Let's just go here with the Thunder and the Nuggets. Thunder and the Nuggets.
Great. It was a great overall series just to watch. And sadly, I was on TikTok and I saw in the comments, they said it's going to come down to 2 things. It's going to come down to, is Harden going to sell or is Russell Westbrook going to sell? And we found out the answer. So.
Isn't that amazing, though, when you think that those 2 guys, Westbrook, Russell, and who's that?
And Durant.
Durant, they were all in Oklahoma. All of them, I think all 3 of them in the top 20 scorers of all time. And those 3 were together on one team. I guess that great team just came along at the wrong time. But boy, they just didn't know what back in the day.
Yeah, they just didn't know what they had.
Yeah.
They have Steven Adams also. Wasn't he on that squad?
Yeah, I think so.
Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka, yeah.
That was
best, in my opinion, best scorer of all time in Kevin Durant. You got, I think the most triple doubles of all time, if I'm not mistaken, in Russell Westbrook, and then you have James Harden, which is number 2 all time on 3-pointers. So if you look at the all around career of those 3 players, like, and you think, oh wow, they're all together in the team, like that team must have been crazy, but sadly they couldn't get it done. They did go to a final though, but they
did. Well, they just happened to hit the Mavericks when Dirk had his best year of his career, and then they get the Heat when they had those 3 guys together. But so they just hit the wrong time. But that was a great team. So then we had, of course, easily Oklahoma beat the Grizzlies. What, 4-0? Just, man, I mean, Oklahoma now, we're just talking about them, but boy, that looks like what the juggernaut.
Yeah.
I had them going all the way. What do you guys think now? I mean, Thunder and Nuggets, which one is that going to be? I say Thunder easy.
Yeah, Thunder and 6.
Thunder and 5. Jokic would definitely, Jokic isn't going to get swept, but
yeah, it's going
to be a quick series. It'll be over before you know it.
Going for the Nuggets.
I'll say,
we're going to go for the underdog.
We're going for the
Nuggets. Okay.
You going for the Nuggets, or you think the Nuggets going to win? Those are 2 different
questions. Nuggets, man. I ain't playing with y'all.
Well, I say it's going to be the Thunder in 4. It's going to be another sweep.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Then we've got down here Lakers and the Timberwolves. I didn't know Lakers would go like that. I mean, it looked like to me, it was like Luka got sick one day. LeBron looks old to me. And the coach made a stupid decision, I think, because he played those 2 guys the whole second half. But Luka always gets the rest of the fourth quarter. LeBron's older. And then they looked so bad in that final game. They looked tired. They looked like they either gave up or were tired. I don't know which.
Both, yeah. I mean, end of the day, they made an aggressive move to bring together a superstar that's arguably the best individual player, didn't say the GOAT, but individual player to ever, join the NBA ranks. But, again, 20 years in, and then, Luka, he's got his injuries. Listen, it was a great effort. Those guys had 2 years together, 2 full seasons together. Man, they'd probably be unstoppable with the right players surrounding them. But, they just didn't have the chemistry. And at the end of the day, the gas, they just ran out of gas. That's all you can really, you can pretty much count that up towards.
Ooh, here's the one that's going to bring out some smoke. Rockets and the Warriors.
Just remember, Jaden,
you want to take this one down?
You really want to go there? Do you really want to go there?
Take it? Hey, you want to take it? I mean, what did I say? You know what? I'm going to let you start it off. Say your piece.
No, I mean, listen, at the end of the day.
I want an apology to my good Stephen Curry. I want an apology to Stephen Curry.
Okay, at the end of the day, listen, they did what they were supposed to do. Daryl, I think you mentioned it a few episodes back, right? You know my philosophy. The only way you win is by losing. You have to lose in order to learn how to win at that next level. And I think that's exactly what played out for the Rockets. They have all the talent in the world, but at the end of the day, it takes maturity and playoff experience. And I think they only had one player with like a ring or real in-depth playoff experience. That wasn't enough. They just didn't seem like they were confident in their ability to win that game. Like they literally could have swept the Warriors. From an athletic perspective, they had all of the pieces. They were bigger, they were stronger. But I think ultimately the 3-point shooting, I mean, obviously that's what Golden State's known for. It came through. Steph Curry just went on a clinic. So I'm gonna put that to the side for a second because I do want to come back to this Steph Curry piece that me and Jaden's got going on. And then, you just look at how the Warriors just rallied in the second half. Like the Rockets had a little bit of a spurt, but the Warriors just went on a clinic in that second half. And so it all came down to experience and depth. I mean, Golden State, they have a seasoned roster. You got Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler there. They just did what champions do. And it's a reason why they won 4 championships. And although they don't have the same exact players, they still at the core have that experience, and it bleeds throughout the teams, even with, Steph Curry, like I said, man, he's my favorite basketball player, except for when he's playing the Rockets. And damn, man, that was a hard. And sure enough, some little curly head called me at 11 o'clock last night, talking noise. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. Go ahead.
Jake,
Just remember. I haven't bought you a car yet. Just remember. Well, go ahead.
Oops.
Okay. And for that reason, I'm gonna keep it chill. So for one, I'm happy for the Rockets. They get to have a nice vacation in Cancun. They're gonna have a nice, nice summer break, and you get to learn while Curry goes on. All jokes aside, though, Warriors are just an elite team when all the pieces are put together. Stephen Curry, he was 3 assists away from having almost a triple-double? Like a triple-double from Stephen Curry? And he only had 5 points in the first half? That was looking scary at first. When he had 5 points and I'm turning on the TV, I'm looking and I'm like, when he has games like this, it's not fun to watch. He turns up and he drops, I think, like 23 points, if I'm not mistaken, 18. So Stephen Curry, when him and Jimmy Butler both drop at least 20 points a game, I think the team is unbeatable. When they both aren't on their A game, the team's not. It just can't get done. When Draymond's not, doing his job, it can't get done. And when we don't have a guy that can step up besides our main stars, it won't be done. But Buddy Hield, a guy that I have to give my applaud for, he played phenomenal, 33 points, and it's a guy that was barely starting for the first month that he was on the Warriors, and then after that he got benched. People thought that he wouldn't even be a good player and that he'd be gone after this year. And then he tunes up for 33 in Game 7 and secures the W. That is the type of thing that the Warriors need. They need players that can step up and not just have to rely on the big two with Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry. And now they're going to go on to face the Timberwolves, which I know is a rested team. And I think that is going to be another series that might go to 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Again, I don't feel too confident about them, but I also felt that way going into Houston. So I think they can get it done as long as they all play on their A game and, they all come together and do their jobs.
What'd you think, Daryl?
Well, what we're going to find out about the Golden State Warriors is that them winning had nothing to do with the Golden State Warriors. What? Yeah, that's what I said. Look. The Rockets learned that, and I've been saying this all season long, man, they need someone who's going to be an offensive threat. They need an offensive superstar, someone who's going to come in there and handle the ball and be a superstar every night. Because this team is phenomenal. I mean, it's great. They got a lot of great pieces, a lot of good players, but they don't have that superstar quality that scares the other team every night. Like a Stephen Curry, like a Giannis, like that's what they need. And look, let me explain this too, because I'm on Facebook all day and I'm reading people talking about trade Jalen Green and all this kind of stuff. Look, let me explain something to you, or let me ask you a question. What's the best car on the market? Anybody can tell me the best car on the market? What's the best car? Corvette. Okay, great. Now, what if I asked you to take the best car on the market, that Corvette, and fly me to LA in it? How would that work out? It wouldn't work out at all, would it?
No.
And see, that's what they're doing to Jalen Green. They're trying to put him in a position that he's not qualified for. He's not a superstar. He's not there to carry a team. He is a good player. Van Vliet's a good player. Dylan Brooks is a good player. Lemon is a good player, but they're not superstars. And when you put people like them in a superstar's place, you get calamity. And that's what happened with the Rockets. Look, man, and they're fun to watch. They're good highlight players. I like their little circus shots and all of that kind of stuff, but none of them are superstars. Good chemistry, great team chemistry, but I mean, we need a superstar to come up in there and take command of this team. Somebody who's going to score big every night, make big plays every night. And of course, yeah, it's good that you got this one player that'll step up every night and, every other night or so, but you still got your superstar that's doing this thing. You see what I'm saying? That's what Golden State have that the Rockets don't. So that's my thing. And one more thing. I got tired of watching what was Sagon. as good as he is, bro, taking them weak shots that he was taking.
Yeah.
Acting the play in a couple of steps, turn around and try to shoot that short jumper, and then it's short. Not just because he didn't take the time to use his footwork like Hakeem Olajuwon, and make these plays. But that's what they need to do. They need to have a lock-in. Y'all remember they used to have lock-ins at the church and stuff overnight? Hakeem and Sengun in the gym and let Hakeem teach him how to use his speed, use his strength, use his quickness, and outsmart his opponent. I know it's not always a power play.
He literally came down and did the same thing. You're right. It was that little baby hook or that little push in, and it always hit the back of the rim and bounced. I mean, it was so many times the Rockets literally got down in the paint. Like they had good positioning, and then he just, to your point, turns around and just tries to do like a little baby hook or a little, like a little drifter. And you need finesse. You need to be able to outmaneuver your opponent, especially with that size. And to your point, Daryl, it's all down to the footwork. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, going back to Jaden, because baby, your bubble is about to get busted. So everything that the Rockets have that made them better on paper, the Timberwolves have, the Timberwolves have, but they also have that maturity. So although I think Golden State is not going to go quietly in the dark, I see this 6-7 games to your point, but I just think that the physicality of Minnesota is just going to, because at the end of the day, the Warriors are a small team, and that means that the threes have to fall. Steph Curry is a magician, but if he's off even the slightest, you don't have enough offensive weapons, even with Jimmy Butler, to get it. So it's got to be flawless execution from Steph, near flawless execution from Butler. Draymond Green's got to be that defensive, he has to make that defensive statement like he does, be that disruptor, that modern era, Dennis Rodman, do what he does without getting ejected. And they got a chance to maybe take it to 7. But at the end of the day, this is going to be the Timberwolves. I just don't think Golden State has enough power to get past the Timberwolves. That's my prediction.
Remember that.
Yeah, I'm going to remember, write it down, take a picture.
Hey, I got 2 questions real quick because we're only got 8 minutes to go. Got 2 questions for you. Steve Kerr. I know there's some others too, but has he had one of the best NBA careers ever? I mean, having those, he's not a superstar player, but man, he has some clutch shots, got some rings. Now he's been the coach, got some more rings. I mean, that's quite a phenomenal career that guy's had.
I think from a player coach perspective, he's definitely, or from a player that was synonymous with a very winning franchise in the Chicago Bulls, and then able to turn that into a very successful NBA coaching career. I at least in my modern time, I can't think of another player. Sometimes it's all about just being at the right place at the right time. Oh, yeah, Greg Popovich, having David Robinson, and then him getting injured, and then they were so bad in the regular season, winning the lottery and getting Tim Duncan and then a healthy David Robinson back, and that just kind of set the foundation for what was going to be the Spurs dynasty at that point in time. Sometimes and now, granted, I'm not trying to say Pop wasn't a good coach. Some of it's a little bit of just being in the right place at the right time, but none of that means anything if you're not prepared. And I think Steve Kerr is a prepared player or coach, just like I think Pop was. So he's done his thing. He's definitely going to go down as one of the greatest coaches because he's coaching one of the greatest players. Daryl, I don't know if you agree with that. You may have a different point or a different point of view.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I just wonder if he didn't have Steph, would he be as great a coach as he is?
That's what I'm saying. It's inherited. Sometimes you are in the right place at the right time.
Right.
Yeah. That's how all great teams are alike, though. There is no such thing as just like a team full of role players. There's a guy that steps up and is the reason why the team is as good as it is. Like, there's no such thing as a team that can just have a bunch of decent guys and just go on to win something. Like, no, you need a superstar. So I think y'all are right, but it gets to a point. Like, I get Stephen Curry definitely has carried, and adding Kevin Durant, that definitely helped win those other 2 for him. But you need a superstar. It's not like they drafted that skinny kid from Davidson and expected him to become pop out and become the next franchise player. Like, no, he he didn't look like he had a lot of potential, but he developed him and he stayed with himself.
Yeah. Well, the other second question is, I've heard this other people say it, so I'll see what you think. Yes, because LeBron dominates the news, but particularly if Curry wins another championship, is this more the Curry era or the LeBron era? When you look back on it, I think LeBron gets the publicity, but boy, Curry sure has been the player, hasn't he?
I think LeBron is a bigger threat all around due to what he can bring to a team, whether it's players or clutch moments. But when we're talking about pure greatness and like how they've done against each other compared, I think Curry has a slight edge, especially if he wins this ring. That's one more ring. I think he has a higher win percentage against LeBron. He's had less all-star teammates, if I'm pretty sure. Like, I can maybe name 3. LeBron's had depending on how far you're counting the LeBron era, but like if you're gonna say within like the past 10 to 15 years, I think it's real close. But if Curry wins this, I don't know how you can't give it to Curry.
Yeah.
Do Curry need to win it?
He's got to win it. Yeah, because I think he needs to win if Curry wins it right now, I think LeBron has that slight edge just because they're tied in the number of chips, but LeBron has he's the all-time scoring, record, and there's a couple other. What else does he have, Jaden? In terms of like he's got like, is it assists or he's pushing close?
Pretty sure it's like most, or he's pushing assists. He's honestly top 5 to 10 in everything, like stats. Yeah, he's just a phenomenal player. I think he has like the most playoff wins, if I'm pretty sure. I don't want to say that and be wrong.
Yeah.
I know he's a little bit younger than LeBron, but I would say when I was watching him play yesterday, he didn't show any age on him really. He still looks like he's got all 8 cylinders running.
Nah, he about down to 6.5. That's why he ran out of the game.
6.5.
Yeah, hey, don't go hating on Curry now. Hey, he said your team.
I thought you meant LeBron. My bad.
No, LeBron. No, LeBron. Curry didn't look that tired.
Yeah, I mean, man, Curry's still on 6. If he's the 8 cylinder is the max, he's still at about 7. Like to be his age, man, he's still like a little kid out there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, okay, guys. Now we know where we're standing. You guys out there, you leave us a comment. Give us a thumbs up, but let us know what you think. Because who knows what's going to happen in the next round. It looks like it's going to be good. So we'll see you next time. See you later.
Warriors in 5. Warriors in 5.
Bye, Jaden.